Alright folks, hello and welcome to another Titan Vial stream. I'm making a very small change really. We're gonna be adding the fourth copy of Path, which I always kind of wanted in this deck. Because there are some matchups where you might want to cut your vials and just like add interaction instead. So we're gonna see how that goes. And what I cut was the Arasta. Arasta was... It's been kind of medium. Like, the paths are already good against prowess anyway. So we might miss it. But I think we're not gonna miss it too much. Sand is obviously a mulligan. If we had some business land, even if we did have some business lands, I probably would ship it anyway. And this hand is amazing. So in the blind, opponent moves to 5. So it is between either one of these, right? It has to be one of these two. I think I'm just going to bottom the Thalia. I'm just going to hope that my Reclaimer doesn't get answered. Unfortunately, I think that's kind of what I have to do. Brutal. I mean, I keep seeing that the auto message coming up, and it keeps saying that I'm affiliate, and I always forget to update it. I have gotten so good at muting myself before sneezing. It's like a skill I've been working on for the longest time now. So if my opponent is on Tron and they have a nutty Tron opener, we might be in trouble. Ancient Cigarette, so humans? Well, sweet then that I bought on that silly Thalia then. Never mind, there she is. There she is. That's really funny, actually. Literally just played this matchup in the previous league. And now we have a list that has even more paths than before. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sigurat. Medley Mage. Okay. They probably have to name Dryad on this board state. They name Primetime. Okay. Okay. That's definitely great for us. Also, these flagstones means that next turn we can use Reclaimer A not so rare play pattern is that you would, whenever you need to, like, it's not great because you are basically slowing your development by 1 turn, because you're using a reclaimer to activate something that doesn't actually get you up on lands in play. But if you really need to make a reclaimer into a 3/4, what I could do next turn, for example, is I could play Flagstones here and I could sacrifice my forest to the reclaimer activation, and then what that does is I can actually use, like, this puts the forest in the yard, and then I can get a second Flagstones, and the Flagstones just legend rules itself, so it gets put into the yard. So it's kind of like a roundabout way of doing this, but sometimes it comes in clutch. They're down to 2 cards in hand, but if they have Reflector Mage... Okay, so this is the Mantis Rider. Mantis Rider is fine. He's not gonna be able to raise me quickly enough. If my opponent attacks with the champion, I think I actually do the trick that I just talked about. Oh wow, they're YOLOing. Yeah, I think we actually go for that trick. Because it just takes so much pressure off. And we, of course, don't care about the Meddling Mage, obviously. Let's go. Just play Valakut here. So if I sack this... Alright, that's scary. But what I can do now, which is pretty nice, is we're going to be taking 3. But what I can do is I can go fetch Castle. Then we Dryad plus Ewit. We get back Windswept Heath. And Heath triggers twice. No, so we need to draw 1 land, I guess. But by doing this, I feel like I'm giving myself a shot. So any untap land puts me in a great position. Worst case scenario, I guess. Brutal. What now? We have multiple options here. Option number 1. Which I think is what I'm going to do, is we Dryad. I think it's what I'm going to do. Just Dryad and play 2 lands, kill one of these, and we lose to another Mantis Rider. But we only lose to Mantis Rider or Phantasmal Image. Man, we would have won so easily if we had been able to have access to 1 more untapped land. Brutal. So Image or Mantis Rider kills us, but everything else we can probably beat fairly easily. Do I have Vestige? No, I'm not playing Vestige. No vestigios. I wonder if they have the red card. What's the name of the red card? Because that would also kill me. It would be hilarious, actually. I always forget the name of this stupid red card. Kessig Malcontents. That's the name of the card. That would be pretty funny. Alright, so we did get to untap, so we would be okay. So I think that the best thing to do here is to get Valakut. Then we're going to play Eternal Witness and we're going to get back Windswept Heath. So this clears the board. And limits my opponent's top decks. I guess I could have lethal them now that I think about it. Whatever. I feel like this happens way too often here on stream. I'm like, I'm so focused on trying to find the line that answers something that I forget to look at my opponent's life total and be like, oh, right, this is actually just lethal. Not punished, but still, that was definitely not proper. Not proper play. Okay. Humans once again. Cathalias and Katpachuki Bog. We should cut Tracker for a land, for an untapped source in Tech Edge. I actually don't hate that. Yeah, I don't hate that. I think I like the 28th land over the Tracker. Seems rather slow. This one's also slow, but it's better. It's probably too slow though. Brutal. Path bottom that one. Gross. I think I'm gonna have to bottom Proclaimer there. But Druid actually gets me closer to getting Dryad active, which is my game plan, so... How is the use so far? So far so good. Like, it's not great. It has not been stellar, but it has been okay. I think I'm supposed to play this now, so I can path something if I need to. Though at this point I'm probably closer to pathing my own thing than pathing my opponent's. I think I would path. I would probably path Mantis Rider, but maybe nothing else. That's exactly what they got. But this is so much damage, right? If I take this. Guess that the decision gets delayed. Because now I can actually use this to... So sack this and I'm gonna get a green and a white. So next turn we're gonna get 2 Valakut triggers and we're gonna be able to hold that path too, so... If they hadn't skipped through their combat phase, I might have path the Rider. I guess probably we wouldn't path the Rider anyway. We would be taking 6 more damage, but then we don't lose to Meddling Mage. And once we have Dryad plus Valakut going... In fact, here I'm not going to chomp, because I can just path my own dude, and we can play around my Dismember from my opponent. Phantasmal Image. Doesn't matter too much. Lieutenant. That one does matter a little bit more. I think that being able to path my own Spring Moon Druid is going to be more important, however. So we're going to be taking 11 here. One, two, three. Dryad. Suva, copy Valakut. And then field. Killing here. Killing here. Spike, thank you so much. Welcome everybody from Spike stream. Thank you for the raid. We're playing some Titan Vial here, of course. Why wouldn't we be playing the best deck in the format that nobody knows about? Some FGA, thank you for the follow. For why Aspiring Spike is dead. What do you mean? What happened, Spike? Are you okay? Did you just have a tough end to the stream? Oh, you finally 5-0'd? Dude, you've been dominating with that deck. Just pretty sick. I've been loving to see it. The deck is super solid. At least you make it look very, very good. I'm gonna say that. I don't know if the deck is actually good, but at least you make it look pretty good. We're gonna see here. No Dismember? Seems like no Dismember. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we path the Druid. My opponent stepped out here, so they have nothing else. So I'm just gonna kill the Mantis Rider here. So we're gonna path here, we get another forest, then next turn we untap, we play land, we kill this, and then we take it from there. It kinda doesn't matter what my opponent names with Meddling Mage. Sharks with swords in their damn mouths. What could be better? One lander, not so hot. This is a little bit too fair. I think I'm probably okay keeping it. But I moves to 6. Maybe they're playing Dredge, and we get to host them. That would be great. Congrats, deck is strong and humans are shit. Nefren. GG's. We just played against you, right? Yeah. GG's. Okay. With opponent going turn 1 mountain, they might be on mono red prison or some of that nonsense. Stomping ground. Okay, so probably Ponza? Probably Ponza is where my mind would go. Let's get the whole Vial thing going. Again, my opponent is holding up the mountain, so there's kind of no need for me to run into anything here. Okay. Iladam Riscol is interesting. Should I get a white source here, or should I get another green source? Oh, wow. Well, I guess I'm getting another green source. Or both. Arid Mesa. What the hell is my opponent playing over there? Okay, so they're playing a field deck, so I have to assume that they are not playing... I have to assume that they're not playing... Courser, okay. What's going on? Nefrem with the Prime sub. Free win and renew sub. Stonks. That's great. That's good stuff. Through the breach. What the fuck is going on here? Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Am I just getting Emrakul? How did this even happen? Why? They're playing Arid Mesa, Ketria Triumph, Field of the Dead, and Emrakul with Breach in the same deck. Land Shatter, thank you for that follow. I don't understand what my opponent's doing over there. I have no idea at all. So they don't have Moon. So I think we cut the Knight. We'll probably cut the Gargoth as well. Sneak attack Piggy. I mean, I'm not going to be bringing in Path to Exile and Purges, I don't think. I mean, my opponent's going to get me here for sure. Like, I'm probably cyberling quite poorly. Like, I clearly played that game really poorly, right? Like, I didn't cast my Thalia. Like, I could have cast my Thalia. I was protecting it from Bolt because I thought that my opponent was going to be playing an Uro deck of sorts. The Arid Mesa Uro deck, you know, the classic. And they definitely are not. Confuse your opponent into Oblivion sounds like a legit plan. Yeah, I mean, got me. It is an Uro deck. So they're playing Uro with their Through the Breach plan. Is that what you're telling me? Yes. Okay. The classic sacrifice my Emrakul, shuffle away my Urza game plan. Some solid deck building. I guess now that I think about it, my opponent didn't really see a white source. Like, they had Arid Mesa, but they didn't actually fetch a white source. So maybe that's just a red fetch for them. This hand looks pretty solid. They really outplayed me. Oh yeah, I was outplayed real hard. Search for tomorrow. When is it okay for me to give up trying to understand what my opponent's doing? I think that right about now it's okay for me to give up, right? So I think I'm going to play Eidolon here, because it time walks my opponent. Timur Urobrigi, exactly. Maybe they're big brained over there, maybe. Impossible to know. Literally impossible for us to know whether our opponent is a genius or a madman. Literally cannot know. I made they really are playing Scape Shift. I mean, when I saw Search for Tomorrow, that's kind of what I thought, so... Also, they're playing Field of the Dead. They are playing the Dwarven Mine. That's what it is. That's what it is. They're playing Luca. And that kind of nonsense. Alright, we figure it out, Chad. We figure it out. Okay, so we do want Path to Exiles, I guess. Okay, so that's my opponent's turn. And they pack it in. Alright, so we definitely want to bring in paths, because paths actually do answer polymorph, and Scavenging doesn't answer anything. So some number of paths we do want. Eidolon seems kind of medium. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's definitely medium minus. Raminab sounds bad, and maybe just 3 paths. Alright, we figured out, we cracked the code. Code is being cracked. Archon would be nice here. Actually, it would. You say it jokingly, but like... most certainly would be looking good. The question is my opponent playing Boyle? Forest here. You always want to lead on forest because of what I was showing in the previous one. Like if I top deck flagstones, we actually can make this guy into a 3/4. So Farseek. Things are not looking good for the home team. Things are not looking good for the home team. Boom, boom. Sack that. Get stones. Boom. Let's go. Do we play second? I think I'm going to play second reclaimer here. Don't do it, opponent. Don't breach me on end step. Okay, that one I can beat. Okay. What the fuck? Okay. I mean, those are legal cards. Yes. My opponent is playing modern legal cards. How do we beat this? How do we beat this? Tectonic Edge. So if I Balakut and I don't draw anything good, I guess I can path my own dude. So we can answer this. Okay, so let's, I guess we're going for that. Fetchland is probably my best draw. Okay. I mean, I could beat my opponent having some things. I could not beat my opponent having all the things, you know? Uh, I mean, we're not dead. One, two, three, four, five, six. So we're gonna be left with 3 permanents. Waiting a search for the second valakut before field. Because my opponent is playing, I suspect my opponent is playing Lucas in their deck. Like, why else would they be playing this card? So by doing this at instant speed, I leave myself the out to do different things. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about just like sacking everything but the Valakut. No, I guess we're not gonna get to trigger Valakut, so sack everything but the basic forest. Take 15. We lose to Mountain. Maybe sacking all the lands is better. Yeah, sacking all the lands is better. Yeah, sacking all the lands was better. I lose to Mountain. Yeah. I know. It's literally what I said, right? Yeah, because like this path is just not castable, right? So in fact, what I should have done is I should have pathed my own dude. No, that doesn't actually work. Never mind. Yeah, I should have. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Does this change anything? Because I can go get Tech Edge now. Since I can go get Tech Edge. Does this change things for me? I'm not gonna go to bolt range now. Yeah, I think I should go get Tech Edge actually. Alternatively, we could go get Flagstones. This was a mistake. Like, I'm giving my opponent more time than I should be giving them. I should have just put my opponent on Twitter Clock and just YOLO. But we can't activate Tech Edge. Why not? Not this turn. Yeah, I know that not this turn. But, like, I still don't have a 2-turn clock, right? Sure. Boyle once again shining bright. But Tech was different as if they draw a line. Well, if they don't draw a line, if they draw like a Through the Breach or something, right? Then I can actually Tech Edge their Valakut and I gain 1 more turn. We're totally not gonna get there though. Yeah, if we had sacked all the lands, we would have won this game easily. Yeah. I'm an idiot. I should have thought about that. I mean, we obviously thought about. I obviously thought about it, but like I should have, like, executed properly. I kind of just played myself there. Once again, Boyle being an amazing display of just a terrible idea. At least we got to showcase that one more time. What did I miss? I could have put my opponent on a 2-turn clock, and I didn't. Because I just played myself, basically. Played myself like an idiot. Armageddon, your opponent land seems fair. 4 mana is okay. I mean, did you see how that went out? Like, Boyle did literally nothing. Any card in my opponent's... I don't care what they cybered out, it was better than Boyle. Because it would have actually won them the game. Instead of, you know, giving me a chance that I was not able to punish. Using Kazama to play Druid and double activations, which I screenshot the board state. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So here we have a couple of options. We can call for Reclaimer, which is very tempting now that we have... I think that's actually what I'm gonna do here. I'm doing this because we drew the Flagstones. Next turn we can Reclaimer with Flagstones and we can Violin in the Thalia. So it's a pretty solid tempo play. So we can block here if we need to. So this looks like an Urza here. So we're gonna need to find a Dryad pronto. If we do find a Dryad, we're gonna be in really good shape though. Definitely we need for my opponent to not be drawing multiple cards a turn. Thalia's pretty nice here. I wonder if they're gonna use the mana to activate here. They probably should. I guess it doesn't really matter. The only thing that kind of matters is if they equip here. You either play the discard or counter. I'm playing green and white, so I don't know how you... I don't know how anybody would be able to play any discard or counters when you're playing green and white cards. Dryad. No. How can it be the best deck? I don't know if you're trolling me or... I'm kind of confused by what you're saying. I think we have to Vesuva here. These are not good draws. These are not good draws. We really whiffed. We really, really whiffed. Of course, if they have Thopter, Foundry, whatever, I'm just gonna concede. But I have to prevent my opponent from drawing those cards, you know? Okay. Things are not looking good here, unfortunately. We basically have not drawn a card in like 4 or 5 turns at this point. It's kind of insane. So we can put 2 counters with this up to 3. That kills the Emery, which doesn't really matter, unfortunately. Was Upkeep Proclaimer activation worth it? Maybe it wasn't worth it, but it was necessary, I think. The problem is that I limit my outs so much if I do that. But I guess I know what I'm drawing, though. Yeah, that was just silly. I should have done that. They're also counter green. I don't know why you left about white and green deck without counter. I mean, it's like telling me that blue has burn spells. Land Shutter. Like, yes, you have Psionic Blast. Is that card playable in Modern? No, it's not. So, like, yeah, if you want to come at me with technicalities, it's like whatever. we can play that game if you want. Yeah, I think that this Aether Vial is not going to do anything. So I'm just going to untap here. Again, we die to multiple things here, right? Like there's many things that we get caught by, but what is this? Path to Exile, my Thalia. Okay. Come on, really? I mean, the only problem is that like there's nothing that we're really drawing towards here, right? That's the big problem. Aether Spellbomb. If they attack, of course I take it because it doesn't matter. There's minimum 1 counter. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep discussing with you. You're clearly a troll, so we're not gonna do that. Yeah, we have to shuffle here and end step. I kind of don't understand what they did there, though. Like, what are they doing here? Are they just wearing? They have wear? And they wanted to wear and go off at instant speed? Okay, so I guess that makes sense. Alright, so we just lost it. It's okay. Man, it's brutal how much we whiffed on our draw steps. Pretty wild. So we like this, and I like this as well. Jigaball is fine. Go Squatter. I wonder if they have... Just saying because I didn't know them. I said playable. But again, I'm not gonna continue the conversation. It's not worth my time. My sideboarding for this matchup is kind of rough. We definitely want the paths. I feel like I want the vials, even though I'm not actually excited about them. Eidolon seems good. Thalia seems fine. Seems disruptive enough. At least when they don't have an Urza draw, and even if they do, then we can still purge Exile Found. It's too narrow. Yeah, I wouldn't bring it in. I don't think it's gonna be good enough. Mana Tide is really playable. Whatever, man. Again, like I don't want to continue this discussion. If you want to talk about something else, sure, whatever. But if you want to continue kicking that dead horse, then I'm gonna ban you. Just a healthy. I think I like Scusi. Probably Golos is kind of medium. We have to watch out for Gust, however, which my opponent very likely will have. Ramming up sounds bad. Can maybe shave one tracker or Splink Druid. I guess Corsair can go. Maybe I am overvaluing the Thalia in this matchup. Well, I don't think that we need, right? Like, what is Collector Oof really good against? That is the only issue that I have with the card. I'm not like afraid of playing Oof in my sideboard, right? It's just like, what are we really tagging? Is the question that I would try to answer, you know? Not able to renew myself for the channel because it says you are not authorized to make this purchase. Have you seen this before? No, Han. Actually, I have not. No idea what you're talking about. Since Mopo ban, it's lost a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's kind of my point. Like, what are we really stopping? Like, it's fine at slowing down exactly Oblivion Stone, right? Or like Eldrazi-tron, like stuff like that. But besides that, it's not really that good. Even against like the Helio deck that we played against earlier, it's just like, it doesn't really matter that much because if they, like, we just cannot beat Infinite Life anyway. Ad nauseam. Alright, yeah, so it's good against Affinity? Yeah, it's great against Affinity for sure. Even against E-tron. Yeah, I mean it's medium against E-tron, but it scales even like every now and then some people out there go and play scales. I don't think it's very good, but when I tried it, it was pretty lackluster. Let's play this Stabbed, because this gives me the option of playing Corsair next turn if I need to. I'm probably going to play nothing. Yeah, because my opponent is holding up Metallic Rebuke, and we can play around Rebuke very easily, so there's kind of no need to run into it face first. Alright, so they don't have Rebuke here. So I guess we are going to. They do have Bubble going, which is annoying. Path to Exile. I'm gonna play Courser. Okay. Maybe I should have played Dryad. Don't really think I should have played Dryad, but maybe I should have. But yeah, so yeah, my point for not playing Scavenging Ooze is that I don't think it hosts that many decks. And it's definitely not free, right? Like, shutting down your own vials is kind of a big deal. Like, even in this matchup, like, I don't know if the cost of shutting down your own vials is worth if the cost of shutting down your own vials is worth it, basically. Man, we just keep whiffing. Draw. We can path our own Courser if we need to. Not excited about that prospect, but I kind of really want to shuffle though. I really want to shuffle. Decidera is such a horrible draw. Thanks for the mystifying video. It was pretty interesting the steps and how the deck came to shape. Oh yeah, sweet. Excelsin, appreciate that you checked it out. Glad you enjoyed it. Very instructive video, thanks a lot. Alright, sweet. Glad you folks have been enjoying it. So I didn't do anything here because if I path my Courser and my opponent paths my Dryad in response, it's an absolute disaster, right? So like they are clearly playing Path to Exile in their deck, so Vial is a bad enough to draw that I might need to just jam though. Just eat up the 2-for-1, you know. I mean, something's happening here. What are we doing? Arceus Dota. I was under the impression that this was a Tron player. I've seen them like top 8 channels and challenges and stuff. That did not feel good. If I'm being honest, that did not feel good at all. I feel like it was a necessity though. Famous, thank you for the follow. Have you considered jamming maggots off the moon cyber as we don't suffer so much from it? Not really? No, I haven't. I don't think it would be very good. Like my entire deck is built around cards that are good with lands, right? Lands that do stuff. All right, so let's just give me one top deck, okay? Just one top deck, and then that's all I need. That's all I need. Just one top deck. Scavenging Ooze, Bojuka Bog. Legendary Chaos. 15 years. Exactly 15 years. With the tier 1 sub. Welcome back once more. Really appreciate you being here. And the continued support. Is it time? It is always time. Remember that I said that when I said that I needed exactly one draw, what would be good? That one counts. My opponent agrees. My opponent agrees that that one was a good one. I still think this setup is probably the best that I can do here. Maybe this can go. And we can have Spring Bloom in response. Instead, I mean, sure. Remember when this was a Villager stream? This was never a Villager stream, I guess. Never forget that. Never a Villager stream. It's a pretty sick Hearthstone hand, though. It's a very, very underwhelming hand, but I think it's a keep. Whether I like it or not, it's a Belcher stream. Damn it. God. Alright. Temple Garden. This guy. Let's go. So now let's just stop the deck. What's his name now, right? Let's just stop taking nice little flagstones. No sooner asking the cyber fell out of favor or testing something else. I'm trying the 4th copy of Path. No idea yet if it's good or not. Sure. Get a forest. Play a Reclaimer. I guess I'm supposed to play Sanctuary here. Because if I draw any untapped land, I can actually play land plus activate Reclaimer. I guess belching hard. Belching indeed. Actually, I think I'm gonna play Druid here. Good. Snow Forest, Basic Forest. Okay. So I think we go to combat here. Let's see what my opponent does. Tiff down. Now they're holding up Cryptic. Do I force them to cast the Cryptic? I think so, right? So I guess we do this first. They're probably gonna counter draw. Yep. Play field and pass the turn. Now we can call on end step. Depending on what they do, we might even call for Thalia here. Actually, calling for Thalia doesn't sound half bad. Okay, so they have it. Urza. So I think they're gonna have Cryptic now. Well, I guess we just prime time, right? Although I guess killing Urza is pretty important. So the last card in hand is a Cryptic command. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out whether it's better for me to grab a Titan or for me to grab something else. I think it's gonna be a prime. Oh, Scavenging Ooze is nice. We can 1, 2, 3 Dryad. We sack this. No, that doesn't do it. I guess it has to be prime time, kind of. And we can get Vol plus Valakut. All right. So they're They have a... I think they have a cryptic command and one unknown card. The nice thing is that Primetime kind of forces my opponent to action. How did they do their scrying before? I think that they scryed and then they fetch, if I'm not... No, they didn't. They went one top, one bottom. So whatever they drew, they were looking for. Combo piece are where? Yeah, but like one combo piece doesn't do it, right? They would need to spike the other one. Okay, so they draw two. So now we can't really... Unless they drew perfect, we can't lose. That's free. Cavern best draw. Cavern is not in my deck. I mean, we're gonna fight here. My opponent would need to be really 5-head here. Okay. So this forces the action. Here's a cryptic tap and draw. So I think we're gonna kill the Urza. Force them to have a second copy in hand, I guess. Bounce, return to hand. That's pretty good for us. Okay, so I'm going to tap and tap. We're going to sack this. Going to get Vesuva. Gonna copy Celestial Sanctuary. Gonna bounce this. Gonna do their thing. Now we're going to play. Oh, whoops. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play Dryad. Play Eidolon. Celestial Sanctuary. Yep. Play this again. Yep. Now we're probably putting my opponent in a tough place. Could only play one spell. In before Verdict. I'm not playing around Verdict from my opponent's deck. They could have it, but I'm not playing around it. They're playing an Urza deck, right? After all. Okay, so they do have Urza, but that's it. That's the spell that they play for the turn. So they need to have a second Cryptic in hand in order for anything to happen. And even if they do, we're still in fine shape because we're gonna get at least one Reclaimer activation. And again, we are forcing my opponent to react because they are already dead to the Titan attack, right? So it's not like they can expect, they can wait for me to do anything and then do something. Like they actually, like that's it. So the opponent has a Cryptic on top of their deck, but it doesn't really matter because I don't think we're gonna have another turn. So if they Cryptic tap and draw, what is this? 5 mana. Oh. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. They hope I Lucksack a Path to Exile, or I guess Path doesn't even do it. Could have searched for the Ghost Quarter to blow out the Mystic Sanctuary and counter the Cryptic last turn. Yes, but if I do that, no. This puts the land in the battlefield tapped. So I couldn't have activated when I wanted to. So by doing the Vesuva thing, what I did is I forced my opponent, like without an Ursa in play, they can't realistically win. So I forced my opponent to like need to have an Ursa in order for there to be a game. And when they cast the Ursa, the Eidolon just locks them out, right? Eidolon has proved to be really effective against this kind of like value, do multiple things in the same turn decks. I've been actually fairly impressed by it. And the Griffin, the Archon, I guess is the word that they used for, even though it looks like a Griffin, but I'm definitely excited to try out the Griffin. Because it looks like a just kind of a strictly better version. Yeah, it also has the added benefit that it disables Sanctuary, which is nice. The only issue is that it dies to Lightning Bolt, obviously, right? Dying to Lightning Bolt is no small issue, but it's probably worth it. Probably worth it. Let's bleed on that. Let's see what's up. Because it's the Eidolon effect, but it also makes all the non-basic lands ETB tapped, just like the older Thalia. The big Thalia, the 3 mana one. Probably get this a lot, but do you think there's a universe where the new Omnath fits the traditional amulet? No, it's not. There isn't. You could try though. Maybe it's fun, but it's not good. I can guarantee that it's not gonna be good. So I'm just gonna force my opponent to, if they have Liliana, they have to minus. If Mystic Strike comes into play and tap. Yeah, exactly. So that's why Vesuva doesn't really, even with an amulet in play, Vesuva doesn't count with Mystic Sanctuary. Doesn't really work, sorry. Which is kind of interesting, but ooh. I was thinking if there's any way that I can like get queued or anything, but so what would happen if I played Reclaimer and I called? I think that's what I'm gonna get a little bit greedy here. So I'm gonna play Reclaimer on call, and then I'm going to discard this Valakut so I can get value from this Ravina. This might be getting a little bit too cute. Maybe I'm just playing myself. Fuck me. And I did indeed play myself. Yeah. I mean, there's still a shot here. There's still a shot because I'm going to call for Titan. Gonna call for Titan here. And I'm gonna main phase activate this. I guess this is okay. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I guess I'm gonna have to chomp. Okay. F me, I guess. Each player discards a card. So we sack this, we bounce this. Next turn we're gonna have 4 lands. We can't trigger field. That's the math that I was trying to make. I think that what I have to do. So my plan was to get Celestia Sanctuary, right? Like Celestia Sanctuary just gives me all the mana that I need in order to trigger, but it doesn't give me the amount. Yeah, we have to sack a land. So I think that what we have to do here is we actually have to bug ourselves to soak up more damage. My opponent, so the goal is a 2-3, so we take 4 down to 8. Then we need to top deck exactly an untapped land. We need to top deck exactly untapped land. But I think this is what gives me the best shot. Any untapped land does it. Brutal. That's absolutely brutal. All right. I gave myself the best shot though, so that's okay. Thalias can go. I don't want too many paths. Maybe I want 2. I mean, paths just doesn't seem. I guess that they're better than vials, right? I Sanctuary first, then Bow on Titan. Yes, but if I do that, then my Titan doesn't stabilize, right? Because I'm just dead. My opponent still has a Liliana in play, right? We have to consider all the facts. My opponent has a Liliana with 3 loyalty. If I don't bog there, I go down to 4, and then my opponent, I'm just stops, because I can't trigger field to stabilize. So Sanctuary, actually, if you go for Sanctuary first, you actually did a board there. Alright, full field push. Not sure if that's the correct play. It might not be. But this is probably the best turn to do it. Lily is pretty good here, but it's not the end of the world, really. Squiff is becoming kind of annoying. Most definitely no blocks here. Dark Saga 07 with the Prime sub, and Saint Pro Jimmy with the follow. Welcome both of you to the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Probably the only thing that I'm really scared of here is Fulminator. We have time to answer this Goive. Let's double the pressure. I think I like that play from OP. Basically letting me draw a card for free. Three, four, five. I wonder if I should have actually killed Eliana with that extra mana. So now we have a chump blocker. Been watching for almost a year. Too bad I haven't played Tiny more than 6 months. Brutal. So I think here we're gonna have to gain some life. If they have second Lily, that sucks, but probably second Lily sucks regardless. Fulminator. Oh man. Oh man. Well, I guess that we crack the clue first, because it gives us more options. So if we pass, we are scooping to Fulminator Mage. We're scooping to Liliana. I think that we're actually going to play Dryad here and develop our mana a little bit, and I'm going to attempt to double block one of these Goyfs. The power of Goyfs is 5/6. I'm going to attempt to double block. If they have push, we kind of lose. If they have brutality, we actually lose. But I think I have to stabilize here. I cannot double jump. I need to start being ahead on board. If they had push, they would have won already. Well, I mean, they could have top decked it, right? They could have just top decked it this turn. What is this? Ashiok? Yep. Ashiok is annoying, but it's not that bad, really. And if my opponent wants to minus Ashiok, I would be eternally grateful, making their Goyf smaller for me. So we're gonna start here. We can't attack that Ashiok. We have to take up this Blast Zone here. The amount of fetches and land sacrifices with the value of Gitrog, no. Basically, any card that you want to splash, I am probably going to say that it's not worth it. The mana in the deck is already very poor. So you're just pushing your luck for probably no real upside. What is this? Another Fulminator? Come on. Okay, Lurus, that's significantly worse. Fuck. That's bad. So since they have Lurus, I guess that this doesn't save me anymore, right? Well, no, I guess that it's still correct for me to charge up the Blast Zone. Because they can't attack with both, right? Opponent. Oh, they don't. Okay, so they didn't want me to draw. Okay, Field of the Dead was my top deck. That would have been a pretty good top deck. Yeah, but you saw what happened, right? Like, my opponent is not just activating Ashiok. They are like only activating Ashiok whenever they are getting a real outcome, like a real upside from it. They're just not activating Ashiok because they can. They're activating Ashiok because it's good for them. That's an insane top deck, really. Mulder Decay, thank you so much for that subscription. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you for sharing your Prime sub here. Vala could go score yourself. They're gonna win this. Do it again. There's an Ashiok in play. I wish it were that simple, my friends. I'm trying to figure out what the best line is. I think that it starts with me cycling. And now we just have to crack last zone here. You could have attacked Ashiok first. Yeah, I could have done that, but then I don't guaranteed kill the lures, right? No, I guess that you are right, because I could have attacked. My opponent probably doesn't block. Then they Ashiok me. Yeah, it's possible that you're right. Wouldn't be surprised if they minus on themselves here. Hex Drinker. Putting blowing over whether they should minus or not. At this point, they're like, if the Ashok is dead, it's probably dead regardless. So at that point, I think that was actually a mistake from my opponent, and they should have. And they should have actually minus there. So green, and 1. Eternal Witness. Get back Valakut. Yes. Play Valakut. Kill here. Play this. Kill there. No! Oh, I'm so stupid. I didn't. I wanted to kill here and then naturally attack the Ashiok. That was very bad. Whoops. I mean, it's okay, but of course it would have been a lot better, right? It was free to kill the Ashiok basically, so. I guess this does keep me out of like range of nonsense. My opponent says, my god, Ewit, there's everything in this deck, why didn't I exile? Kind of want the last path. Over what though? Nine of Autumn? Is Valkyrie necessary in this type of deck? Would something like Night of the Reliquary be better or something else? I might go wrong, but I'm curious. Hanso Clue, I made a 2-hour primer on my YouTube channel. So I'm not gonna go in detail here, obviously, because if you want to go in detail, you can just go check out the primer on my YouTube channel. That's called Demystifying Titan Vial. But if you want to, the short answer would be that this is a way that you can build this deck. This is the way that I chose to build this deck, and I explained why in that video. But if you want to build it a different way, like whatever, build it however you want. Reclaimer would be the best draw here. No such luck. That's fine though. Yeah, I actually did play Night of the Reliquary in this deck. And it was very underwhelming, so I ended up cutting it. I think I'm gonna pass here actually. Great target for my perch. Any land on tap would be great. I think I'm gonna Spring Bloom here. Keep this. Forest, Snow Forest. Yes. Snow Island, Snow Place. All right. You see the white enchantment? You mean the 4 mana retreat with on steroids or something? I saw it. It's pretty cool. Eladamri's Call. So we have different ways that we could go about this turn. I think I want to Tracker. I guess I want a Courser actually. So let's Courser. Oh, hello. Well, that kind of makes things awkward because that's what I was going to go fetch. No, a Courser Call for Titan seems better. It's better at stabilizing. Basically it incentivizes my opponent to do exactly this, which is fine for us. Gives us another forest. We still get to call end step. Sure. So I think we do block here though. Block there, save some life. Liliana's good. We're gonna pitch the Tracker, I think. All right, so call for prime time. Now we feel the plus Bog. Probably Bog myself. Yeah. One, two, three, Dryad. Tuck them. Valakut. Valakut. My opponent didn't appreciate this. They didn't appreciate the can't see this like fucking Titan shit anymore. Puke. Not primetime fans. We got that part right. Nice thing about Call, no upkeep cost. Yeah, it's a big deal. They no upkeep cost and they being able to fetch non just green creatures is great. One Blovler, thank you for the follow. Could be in for over sacked all the lands. Yeah, I know, feels bad. His hand is perfect though. Goblin Donnie. The new and improved Donnie. Gifting a bunch of subs. Thank you so much, Donnie. I appreciate it. And a little cheeky John Decide, George A. Monty, and Beers FC. All of you, thank you so much. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, folks. So I think my opponent is on Dredge, so I'm gonna go with turn 1 Reclaimer. I'm gonna talk about I'm in this position right now. I don't think it's that poorly positioned. I think that it just really struggles against the Gust decks. I do think that the list that I've been playing lately is actually quite powerful. Oh man. So I guess my opponent's on Jundo. Should have gone turn 1 Vial. Nice dredge. Yeah, I mean, my opponent moved to 5s and they went turn 1 Mire, so I assume that they were on dredge, but I guess they were not. And they also have the Scavenginus. Ugh. So let's see what we draw here. Valakut. Huh. Huh. Oh, Agony! Thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. All of you folks. Oh, by the way, we have new emotes in case you didn't see those. Do we go for Reclaimer play land? Yes, exactly. Lily is pretty brutal here. On the other hand, he does tap them out. It's kind of nice. I think unfortunately we have to shock. So let's go for Reclaimer. Let's file in the Reclaimer. That's the turn. If we draw an untapped land, we're going to be in really good shape here. Nice. Okay, so what we do is 1, 2, 3. We play Dryad. We play this, keep this. This triggers. Plains. Sacrifice Flagstones. Yes. White. Yes. Valakit. Ping there. Ping there. Always yes. Always yes. Always yield. Whee! So this should be enough. My opponent cannot deal with both the card in my hand that kills them and also my board, which also kills them. So opponent's dead multiple ways. Good old play lead and activated all. I think that's definitely an under. That is definitely something that people don't do enough. Lily does suffer a little bit from the Ashiok problem, where people say, "Oh, look at that! There's a Planeswalker. It has an ability. Let's activate it," and they don't really think about the consequences of their actions. So, considering what my opponent's hand was like, which was a Season Pyromancer, then it's definitely correct for them to play Liana and not activate. Man, is it awkward? I mean, it's kind of a tempo play, I guess. Geez, watching me play this deck is so different from other people I see playing it in leagues. What do you mean, little chicky? You mean the way that I approach the matchups, or you mean just like straight up the way that I play the deck? Because I mean, it's true that I probably have literally, I am the person with the most experience with this deck in the entire world, right? Like, I simply have played more leagues than anybody else because I created it, so kind of makes sense. It's more the lines and how I use the cards. Okay, I can see that. That was a bad draw and a good draw at the same time, which is kind of weird to say, but please don't have Ashiok. Brutal. Ashiok here is mostly devastating because of the cards that I have here. I mean, my opponent did not activate Liliana last turn. Let's see if they activate Ashiok here, which would again be incorrect. Okay, so they didn't. Now that I drew a land, it's definitely correct for me to do this here because I am threatening Gargaroth next turn. But it's kind of rough that we actually cannot. I cannot actually develop my mana with these Flagstones. Alright, so my opponent's hoping to luck sack, and they do! They are hoping to luck sack, and they do! That's brutal! Wow, that's insane! My opponent just crossed their fingers, and they hope that it was good. And they hope that it would be good, and it was. Oh, man. Are we in the same plan? I think we're actually on the same plan. Man, this actually is doing so much work. But I think we're just on this plan. It's just like, let's throw Gargaroth in there. Let's hope that Gargaroth sticks. If Gargaroth sticks, I think that we win this game. And if they do have an answer to the Gargaroth, like say another Liliana, then we're probably going to lose. God. So my opponent's gonna block with everything, right? They have exactly enough to deal with this. So I think I want to leave a 3-3 behind. My opponent's going to be able to use Season Pyro. We have to attack Liliana too. Actually, I think I have to draw now that I think about it, right? No, 3/3 is better. So they're gonna throw everything in front of the Gargoth here, obviously. And we're in a lot of trouble. What are we hoping to draw other than Purge? Purge, Dryad. Because like at this point, Dryad is not enough, right? But if I have Dryad plus a land, it is enough. So here they can get back Season Pyro. They're gonna chump, then they probably are going to use minus. Brutal. Yeah, so they get back Season Pyro. That's probably game. I mean, we can draw Path. We'd have drawn Path to Exile there. We would have been able to pass this, clear Liliana. Let's say that my opponent's top decks have been better than mine. With Ashok in play, I don't think I have any more outs now. I just noticed that Eidolon actually misses Bloodbraid, which is hilarious. I still don't think I want it in the deck, but I thought I might as well point it out because it's pretty funny. Keep this. This is the Nutso Springwood Druid right here. What's up, Jack? How's it going? Thanks for the raid. Like they legit have to pick the Springwood Druid here. All right, Jack. Have a good one, dude. So 9 of Autumn en el side, está en el main deck, no en el side. Pero sí hay uno solo. I guess if they do have another discard spell, maybe they can use this one to like take one of these. I mean, it's gonna be the same thing anyway, right? They're taking Dryad, maybe. I think a Springloom Druid is just the better card here. Is Ancient Green Warrior win more for this deck? Yes, trying to prove a point. And it's not so much the proving a point, but just like stating the obvious. So the thing that would make sense here is if my opponent has Inquisitions, right? If they do have Inquisitions, then this makes sense. Sick draw. So good, so good, and we've managed to do this before Ashio came down. So insane. Have you ever done commentary in modern matches? I think you'd be really good at it. I think pretty solid at it, yeah. I did a lot of commentary in the Modern Streamers League. So if you want to go to the MSL, YouTube page, you're probably gonna be able to find a bunch in there. I also realized how important it is to have. Oh, sure. How important it is to have like a good, not co-host, but like a good co-commentator, I guess. That was an awful draw, by the way. Horrid draw. So I play out the Dryad, but it's possible that we are going to end up pathing ourselves if my opponent brought in Boil. My opponent seems to be a pretty good Jund player, so I'm going to assume that they're not stupid. Because of that, I think I want to hold on to this Dryad here. So now the best draw is Valakut? No, it's Titan, because we can path our own dude, and then we just Titan them and kill them. Bloodbraid Elf into Inquisition. Maybe it was a mistake to attack with the Dryad. I think they're trying to enable Fatal Push there. That's the only reason why they wouldn't do that there. If they do that though, I think I path my own Dryad. Just because I want to make sure that if I draw a Titan, it's GG's. And I can cast it. Can call for Ewed. Call for Ewed, get back Titan. That seems better than... Anything else really. Alright, Thoughtseize or bust, OP. Where am I from? From Argentina, yeah. No. ¿Viste que el deck está el cuarto en Empty Goldfish? ¿En serio? Buenísimo. What is this? I mean, them using a push on Ewed is something I'm kind of excited about. That's a problem now. Alright, another prime time. Wow, I can't believe my opponent just... I gave them one turn to Thoughtseize. And they got it all. It's interesting because they literally have perfect info. Oh, they must have Ashiok, that's what it is. They must have Ashiok here, so they want to clear the way from the Purge before they play the Ashiok, so makes sense. Or maybe not. Well, we have this turn. So at this point we have to top deck either a Titan or another Eladamri Skull. I don't think anything else really stabilizes here. Alright, so this is the turn. This is the turn. Call or Titan win. Everything else doesn't. Brutal. Well... Oh no, this is exactly lethal, right? Yeah, because I take one, gain one, but the ravine actually grows. Okay, feels bad, man. They probably have two Thoughtses in their entire 60, and they just drew them to discard both Titans. Another 3 and 2, pretty disheartening, honestly. Like I was feeling pretty good about that last match, that last game, and then yeah, then the wheels kind of fell off. I kind of like this list. I wonder if we should just be playing just 3 Titans instead of Golos. We can try to do something like this. The first league was also 3 and 2. Which is 3-2 every league today. Got jumped out. Yeah, it's a silly approach, but I mean it is what John does, right? Like they just thought he's Inquisition you, and then they just hope it's enough. And in this case, it was. How much do league costs? 10 tickets. Yeah, so $10 basically. Still not a fan of Gargaroth. I think that what it does well, which is why I have it in the deck. This is a threat that can win the game against Ponza or Prowess that you can just call for, and even if your opponent has a Blood Moon in play, like they still need to respect the Gargaroth. Like Gargaroth can just win a game by its own, you know. Why not in the sideboard? Like what would you want me to play in the main deck instead? Going 3-2 makes your money back? Yeah, exactly. I mean, it gives you your money back and then some. And then you'd rather have Golos than Gargaroth. But like Golos is basically the same as Primeval Titan. I'm cutting Golos for another Primeval Titan because like I want... It's not like I don't think I want more of this effect. It's just that Prime Time is the better effect than Golos. Though a couple of times it has been relevant to have access to Golos because you do activate Golos' ability more than you'd think in this deck. Whether Golos works through Blood Moon, it doesn't. Like Blood Moon still blanks your lands. Golos doesn't get gusted. Yeah, but this deck doesn't lose to gust as much. From a deck construction standpoint, you just by definition you just don't lose to gust that much. So I don't care about that aspect of the card so much, you know? I care about the fact that it's 5 mana. But I wonder if that's because I was kind of like stuck on the mindset that I wanted to have like stuff to be violent in up the curve, which is just not what matters. Like it's not how the deck is supposed to play. Play Sigarda. No. I don't have a bad John matchup. My John or Black Green X matchup is actually very good. So like bringing in cards for a matchup that's already good doesn't make too much sense. Dryad beats Moon if it comes to the field after, correct? Yeah, that's true. That's how it works. And also it only beats Blood Moon if you have an answer, right? Just the 2/4 body is not gonna beat whatever your opponent's doing until they have literally nothing going on. And Blood Moon still blanks your land, so it's not like Blood Moon is bad against you, right? It's not like Blood Moon is bad, it's just like Blood Moon is a little bit tougher. Yeah, you get to cast spells. You get to cast all of your spells. Even though this deck just, you have 6 basics that you have so many ways of getting, so it's not that big of a deal to beat Blood Moon, honestly. I feel like I beat Blood Moon more often than not. ¿Tenés pensado actualizar la salvaguarda del deck? Me parece que sí, Pedro. Alright, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.